playing through an injury for days, maybe weeks, and just aggravated it against the Storm. And honestly, there are a few compelling reasons fans are buying into that theory. First, the numbers. Since that brutal game against Connecticut where she got roughed up, Caitlyn's looked off. Not just cold, off, especially from three. She's gone 1 for 23 from deep over the last few games. For someone known for logo threes, that's not a slump. That's a warning sign. But then, there's this.
So if you guys did not see, in this game right here, against the New York Liberty, she's doesn't have anything strapped up.
But you know, we've entered the realm of player safety here, and Caitlin Clark, who has now gone out for a third time, so I think that this needs to be reassessed.
And just to be clear, nobody's saying Caitlin Clark should be immune from contact. Physicality is part of the game. That's basketball. That's sports. But there's a massive difference between playing tough defense and blatantly ignoring obvious fouls or letting dirty plays slide. What fans are asking for isn't special treatment. It's basic enforcement of the rules. And that starts with the refs. Call the fouls.
Flexing that ankle. Golly, this late in the game, you do not want to see.
Caitlin Clark is injured again. And this time, fans aren't just concerned. They're furious. Because this isn't just a bump or a bruise. It's her second injury of the season. And depending on how serious it is, it could sideline her for a while. But what's really frustrating fans is how avoidable this whole situation was.
Stephanie White has now got questions to answer.
Because this goes beyond one play. It's a cumulative effect, and it's been building all season. From the refs to respect. Respect from the other players. Respect for the star who's not just growing the game, but putting food on everyone's table. Whether they want to admit it or not, Caitlin Clark is the rising tide that's lifting all boats. And if you look at other leagues, like the NBA or the NHL, stars get protected. And it's kind of mind-boggling that none of this has been addressed. Because what happens next? It's going to be ugly. Again.
And it's also a huge blow to the WNBA. Whether some fans like it or not, it was proven the last time that she was out with injury that the
Boston hands it off as Clark's back in. She goes down.
Oh.
And midcourt and flexing that ankle.
Golly, this late in the game, you do not want to see.
So this was the play against the Storm where Caitlin Clark appeared to aggravate her groin. And now she's officially out for an undetermined period of time. Stephanie White called her day-to-day.
With Caitlin, when did you guys find out about this groin injury, and how much of an absence do you expect from her beyond today?
Yeah, late last night. I think it's very much
as physical as they can possibly be for 40 minutes, because we know for 38 of them, they're pretty much going to get away with it. So I think everybody would like to see a tighter whistle and a little bit more freedom of movement.
Yeah.
That's not just a coaching tactic. That's an admission that the refs aren't doing their job. When coaches build game plans around physicality because the league won't enforce its own rules, that's when players get hurt. And it's not just Caitlin. Jade Melbourne of the Mystics literally got her tooth knocked out by an unnecessary elbow while I was writing this script. No exaggeration. That just happened. Another reminder that when the league prioritizes let them play over player safety, the consequences are real. And this has been happening for years.
timeline for her return.
Yeah, she's doing well. She's doing well. Again, no timeline. I think it's day to day, and for us to just make sure that we're continuing to be supportive of DB.
Now that we know Dawana wasn't really day to day, she'd requested to sit out as the team quietly shopped her around, fans aren't buying Stephanie White's press conference answers anymore. It seems like this could go one of two ways.
Like, it's one of two things. It's either it's groin tightness and she'll be back for the Commissioner's Cup game. She's probably going to miss these next two games. Or it's a groin strain. She's out for the All-Star game. Like, it's one of those two, and there's no in between.
And there's reason to believe that even new. But now, it's threatening the one player who is single-handedly saving the league. And if you really want to go forensic with it, here's something a lot of fans are connecting the dots on. Caitlin Clark added a significant amount of muscle this offseason. Everyone saw it, the flexing on the sidelines, the added bulk. It was a big storyline heading into the season. But the reason she had to bulk up was because she was taking a beating last year. The message was clear. If you're going to survive in this league, you better build armor. But here's the twist. When you rapidly add muscle, especially in your core and legs, it can mess with your mechanics out for an extended period of time. Not because fans want it, but because the pattern is getting harder to ignore. There's clearly a relationship between all these injuries, and nothing seems to be getting fully resolved.
But I think we're getting into territory now where it is not, I don't think it's a good idea to just chance it. I don't think it's a good idea to put pressure on yourself to perform when obviously these are all left leg. These are all in the same leg area. So there's definitely something going on around there.
And beyond all that, many believe this isn't just a case of Caitlin getting hurt on one random play.
Of Caitlin Clark's shoulder and bicep, and she's twisting it. Okay, I mean this is wild. Here's the zoomed out look, the snapshot. I mean, this league does not have control of its players.
But this level of physicality, apparently, is part of the WNBA's DNA. Because while we can argue over missed calls against Caitlin Clark and the Fever, this isn't just an Indiana problem. It's a league-wide.
And people are saying her quad was strapped up against Connecticut Sun. That is a very high strapping up for a quad.
And this is where fans are losing it on the Fever. And more specifically, Stephanie White. Because if Caitlin really was playing hurt all this time, then it means one thing. She was rushed back.
You guys rushed her back. And within rushing her back, she re-injured that same quad. And then you rushed her back again. And then within rushing her back, she was forced to put pressure and put stress on different areas surrounding that quad. That leads us to our most recent groin injury.
It's true. Your risk of injury increases if your movement patterns haven't adapted fully yet. So yeah, maybe, just maybe, if the league encouraged officials to actually enforce the rules, she wouldn't have had to build herself into a linebacker just to make it through a season. Maybe if the league toned down the physicality a bit, instead of treating it like a selling point, we wouldn't be on the edge of another Caitlin Clark injury spiral.
But it does make me wonder if a player like SGA can get all these fouls called, maybe the refs should call them similarly for Caitlin. Because if the player is defending Clark...
True, when one part of your body isn't 100%, you start compensating, shifting pressure to other muscles and joints. And that's how you end up with even more injuries. So when fans saw Caitlin with that heavy wrap around her leg after her return, the question became obvious. Should she have even come back that early? And speaking of that, let's go back to the Storm game, because this is the moment that has fans absolutely livid with Stephanie White.
There's a lot of speculation that she did get hurt in the final seconds of the Seattle game.
Caitlin was put back into the game with seconds left, up by 8. Like, what a moment that could have set the league back a decade. All the momentum, the new fans, the record-breaking ratings, gone in an instant. And that's not hyperbole. Because here's the hard truth. No player has ever meant more to the league's future than Caitlin Clark does right now. And if you think I'm exaggerating, wait till you hear how devastating this is for other players in a few minutes. Now, to be clear, this isn't all on the Fever. Fans and analysts are now calling out the league itself for how the situation got so bad. Because the officiating has been atrocious. And it's played a massive role in this whole mess.
And they just kept shoving Caitlin.
Sure, maybe Caitlin asked to go back in. Maybe she was trying to break out of her slump. But with 16 seconds left and the game already in hand, the coach's job is to protect the player, especially this player.
This one's on the coach. This one seems to be on the coach.
Add in the fact that she's clearly been playing through pain, with her leg taped up multiple games in a row, and you really start to question Stephanie White's judgment. Because at some point, it stops being about guts and starts being about risk management. And right now,
she has such a long career.
We've seen it time and time again. Courtney Vandersloot, Juju Watkins, Cameron Brink. The list of star women's players who've gone down with serious knee injuries is long and heartbreaking. An ACL tear isn't just a setback, it's a season ender, a career-altering moment that can derail everything. And here's the nightmare scenario. What if that happened to Caitlin Clark? Imagine her tearing an ACL in garbage time, during that Storm game, while already playing on a clearly compromised...
The Indiana Fever has the game put away, yet we still put her back in the game at 45 seconds left. Caitlin Clark dealing with an injury, not looking like herself. The game is already out of hand, yet we still put her back in with 45 seconds left. How much patience do I need to have before I can start going nuclear? Because I am getting very frustrated with what I am seeing.
And this is where fans are really starting to worry, because it's becoming clearer that Caitlin Clark isn't being managed the way she should be. She's got that ultra-competitive fire.